The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
Hey, what's up? This is Tom Arnold, and you're listening to Tech Talk Radio. They're really great, and I love them. Hey, how about a copy of Windows? Can I get a laptop?
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemme.
We are the show that talks about computers,
technology,
and the internet. It is just the two of us today.
That's easy going, huh?
We want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to remind you, too, you can follow us. We are on Spreaker. If you listen to us on Spreaker, it's kind of cool. You can also follow us through our links on our website at techtalkradio.com. And then you could subscribe and listen on your favorite platform, which is kind of cool. Big shout out to some of the other podcasts that are out there. I mean, we're a radio broadcast, but, you know, we end up serving this as a podcast. But we like Box Office Quarterbacks, Paul and Griff. There's some new ones that I'm following on Twitter. I mean, you can find all kinds of great shows available on Twitter, depending on what you want to listen to, which is pretty cool. I've been finding some 007 stuff. And there's a new one, Dads on Dayquil.
What?
Yeah, Dads on Dayquil. It's three dads sitting around talking about being dads. And I love the concept.
Are they drinking Dayquil while they're doing it?
No, I don't think so. I think they're just saying that they need it after being dads. Or something like that.
Well, I need NyQuil after that.
Exactly. All right, so there's a lot to talk about, a lot going on. We actually have some good questions as well. But one of the big stories we had this week was about Mario. And, you know, considering our show from a couple of weeks ago was actually titled, It's Me, Mario. Only because
It's me, Mario.
You do that so well. And there's a story out that Mario is dying.
What?
Not dying in sales, but they actually got a day of death for Mario.
Well, they just killed off Luigi.
Yeah, that's right. He just disappeared from a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Well, now Mario's going. And the big story is, will Mario be gone by the time this show airs? Nintendo announced it's going to be removing Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario Brothers 35, Game & Watch, and the Super Mario's 35th anniversary merchandise collection. They're saying that the game Super Mario Brothers 35 won't even be playable after March 31st, a date that some are saying online will be the day Mario dies.
See, now, how can you do that? Like, literally, Mario is Nintendo.
Right? I mean, that's how we got to know about Mario. Even Donkey Kong, you had Mario.
Yeah, of course. Mario was everything. And I there's something behind this. There's something going on. There's something that we just don't know yet. That
do you think maybe a revamp? Maybe a revamp of Mario? Would that be
Could be. It could be. They could be trying to, for the next generation of Mario or something. But there's just no way that Nintendo is going to get. I mean, that's like saying I don't know. That's like saying Apple's going to get rid of the iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no way. You mentioned that they're going to get rid of a couple of the games. I get that. They're pulling the whole Disney trick, where they're going to release a game for a little while, and then they're going to put it back in the quote unquote vault for a while, and then they're going to come out, 2 to 3 years later and say, "Hey, look we're re-releasing it to make even more money."
Yeah,
I get it. And especially the fact that you're saying that one of those games, Super Mario 35th anniversary, won't even be playable. Yeah. I get that. That makes sense. They're going to put it back in the vault, and then a couple of years down the line, they're going to re-release it again, load of money again, as they always do, just like Disney does with all their Disney classics. There's just no way you can kill off Mario. There's just no way.
You think about some of the stand-up arcade games that are out there. I mean, I know there's some, isn't there, that you could play like Super Mario or Mario Brothers on them. I mean, how could they get rid of that? Or if you have old school cartridges.
Classic games. And of course, if you have cartridges and stuff, but in the day and age of internet-connected consoles, such as the Nintendo Switch, I could see that. Even if you get the cartridge version of, let's say Super Mario 35. I mean, I don't even know if they had a cartridge version of it, but let's say you do get it. It doesn't matter. If your console is internet connected, which basically all of our consoles are right now, they could easily download a patch that says, nope, sorry.
Can't play it anymore.
Can't play it.
Ooh.
Put it back on your shelf.
That wouldn't be good.
I know.
That wouldn't be good.
But that would upset a lot of people, because you think about it. People that went out and bought a $60 game, and then all of a sudden they can't play it anymore.
Yeah.
Like that would I think that would cause a revolt against Nintendo.
Well,
Nintendo has been doing such good things these past 5 years when they released the Switch. Now Nintendo is right behind, and I hate to say behind, but in some ways they're ahead of PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah. It's like the alternative that's a little less expensive, and the games are a little easier to understand and play for the young ones.
Well, yeah, Nintendo's always been a family-friendly console. I mean, they've got a couple games that are, rated teen or maybe even mature, but for the most part, most of the games are family-friendly games. Whereas Xbox and PlayStation, it's kind of hard to find a family-friendly game on Xbox or PlayStation. Everything is more geared towards adults.
Plus, playing Mario is kind of fun.
I mean, honestly, my son, Eric, we all, if you listen to the show before, you know who Eric is.
Yeah.
He's 4 years old. He's been playing Mario nonstop. Matter of fact, we just redid his room. We built him a whole new room, and we made it a Mario-themed room. I painted it.
Not.
I did. I painted it two-tone, so the bottom half is green, like grass green,
right?
With a little bit of a crown molding in the center to kind of separate the colors, and then the upper part is like a sky blue, and then we got a bunch of big, huge, like what is the big company that's well known, like Fathead?
Right.
We got these big vinyl stickers of Mario and Luigi and all the Bowser and all that, like jumping and hitting the blocks.
So cool.
And we decorated his entire room in Mario theme. Not only that, but he's got a bunch of figurines. He's got hats. He's got T-shirts. He even now plays the Nintendo Switch by himself. Like, he knows how to play Mario.
At 4?
At 4.
Wow. I couldn't even hold a pencil.
He just... Well, there's a lot to dive into there, but we're not going to discuss it on this show. Anyway, but like seriously, he just beat Bowser for the first time today.
That's
by
pretty
himself. Cool. He was asking me, Daddy, help me beat Bowser. I'm like, no, you're going to do it. I can't do it. I'm like, no, you're going to do it. And he's like, okay. And then he comes back with the biggest grin on his face. He's like, Daddy, I did it. I beat Bowser. And
that is cool.
That was like one of his most crowning achievements was to that point was beating Bowser. How are you going to take care of that? How are you going to take that away from a kid?
Somebody asked me the other day, why is playing console games like on the Switch better than playing your mobile games that you could get for free and maybe have, in-app purchases and stuff. And I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but I told them it's all about the AI because the AI is going to want you to have to buy stuff to keep playing, to want you to keep playing the game.
For mobile?
For the mobile games.
Yeah.
You get a game for
of
free.
Course.
You download the game, you play it, and it's constantly going to say, okay, you can go this far. Or they're going to get your AI for the game switched up to really almost expert level. So it's really going to be impossible unless you give it a couple of days or you pay for those extra features. Whereas on a game like a Switch or something like that, the kids are playing and they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you buy a console game, you're paying the developers up front. You're paying for what they made. So you're paying, the $60 or whatever. And there are some games, especially PC games where you can even pay up to $100.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you, Microsoft Flight Simulator. But yeah, you're paying up front. Whereas mobile games, a lot of times, because there's the market is so saturated, and yeah, I mean consoles are saturated too, but it's in a different category. Whereas mobile, you get the game for free, and they rely on in-app purchases, and it starts out with, oh well, you can buy this starter pack for 99 cents. Oh, what's $1? I can afford $1. Yeah, and then it becomes $5. And then it becomes
you got a
$10.
monkey on your back, right?
Well, I've told this story a long time ago, but I used to play the game Clash of Clans. Now, that's a insanely popular game. It's been out for 10 years now.
Supercell put it out, didn't they?
Yeah, Supercell. It's been out for
still out
like 10 years. Yeah, no, people play it all the time. I have spent now. Let me put it this way. I played it from the years of 2014 to 2018. I took a year off, and then I played it a little bit more in the late 2019, early 2020. How much do you think I've spent on that game from 2014 to 2019? Let's just say 2014 to 2019. Let's just say that.
All right, so
5
you figure,
years.
okay, if you were going to buy a game, it would cost $60. So say maybe $75. I'm just,
Yeah, no.
No?
I think over the course of the 5 years that I've played it in total, I've probably spent around $800.
Oh, my Lord. Wow.
Yeah, because
And that's because the in-app stuff.
exactly $20 here, $20 there. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I just got paid. I got an extra $20. I'll throw $20 at it. That stuff adds up. And now, now it's not been like, let's say $800 my own money. I got gift cards for my birthday. Like my mom's like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, hey, I want a Google Play gift card. Okay, here's a $100 gift card. Woohoo! Clash of Clans, here I come.
Great.
I mean, but those are the things. Like, so yeah, I think I've spent probably close to $1,000.
Wow.
On that game.
Are there games that are on the mobile platforms that allow you to buy the game outright and not have to worry about in-app purchases?
Like, I just got one a couple of days ago. It was called Bloons TD6. It's the 6th generation of Bloons. Now, Bloons is a tower defense game where you basically set up, your defenses, and then these balloons come marching through in a certain pattern, and your defenses have to hold them off. That's called a tower defense game. Bloons TD6 was, I want to say $5? $5.
Right.
And there's no in-app purchases.
Oh, that makes it nice.
So
you don't have to worry about it then.
Exactly. And it's a really good game. The quality, the graphics are great. But then again, like, I just got another game. It's called Bowling, I don't know, Bowling something or other. But it's just a bowling game, and it's for free. But, there's in-app purchases. And so you can only go so far. Like, you can play every single day, but then you have to get to a point where, hey, you need to wait 8 hours. Otherwise, hey, if you want to play right now, you can pay $1.99 and we'll be able to let you play again. And it's like, oh man, I got an extra hour to kill. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll pay $1.99. I'll do it. That's the way they design these games. But my beef, I got to be honest, Andy, my beef with mobile games now, is the way they name their games.
Right.
Almost every single game has one of the following 4 keywords.
Okay.
Clash.
Yeah, true.
Hero. Idle.
Right.
Or Tycoon. Every one of the games has that. And I swear to God, I'm thinking this is what we should do, Andy. We should create a company. We should make a game called the Idle Hero Clash Tycoon. We would be billionaires.
Rake it in. I love
billionaires.
That. There's one that's out there right now that I keep seeing the ads for. And it's funny because I've almost pulled the trigger on it. And it's free. EVONY. And it's available for Android and the iPhone. And they're running a lot of ads for this now in social media. You're seeing it like on iFunny. When you watch a funny and you click over, there's an ad. Words with Friends, they're running it through there. And it's you move these little levers and you try and save the person or get them to a gold thing. And you're going to have to buy something at some point to solve the puzzle. So it's again, and I keep thinking, oh, go ahead and get it. Well, but then why? Because I'm going to be in that same rut.
There's been a couple people that I've met, going back to the original game we were talking about, Clash of Clans. There's been some people that I've played with, and I know personally, that have never, ever spent a single dollar on Clash of Clans.
Wow.
And their bases look amazing. Like, I mean, their game, they're so much more advanced than I am. But here's the thing. They're playing constantly. Like, every time they get a free moment, they launch the game, they go and do a quick attack, they get some loot, they come back, and then they do it again. Every day, they're on it for probably they go on it, 20, 30 times a day. Whereas me, I get maybe half an hour a day, a day, to go do as much as I can. Well, you can only do so much in that said half hour for free without having to pay for it. So that's another thing they're banking on, is the fact that a lot of people don't have the time to constantly check on their game and make progress. They know that people play games from these hours to these hours. And that's when we want to be able to limit their gameplay to make them buy stuff.
That's the other side of it. So you get these ones with in-app purchases. You may play a game like I play the popular Words with Friends. I love that one. And it's the same thing. I'll play for a half an hour, maybe at night, even sitting in bed. I might just go ahead and, exercise the brain a little, playing them. But that's where they make their money. You can do in-app purchases. You can pay $10 and not be, infiltrated with ads, or you go ahead and get an ad after every move. They're making more money that way than if you were to go ahead and pay that $10.
Also, it's advertising, in-app advertising is crazy. Now, there are also games out there that'll say, hey, look, we know you don't want to spend money, but you see this golden case over here? Ding, 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 ding. If you watch an ad, we'll give it to you for free.
Exactly. And you know who's doing that now? Is Coinbase. Now, Coinbase, I don't know if you've seen this. Coinbase, which is, what do you call them?
Cryptocurrency exchange?
Yeah, an exchange. Thank you. They now have it. So if you're, you sign up, you get an account with Coinbase, which is, pretty much you can set up a free account. But they'll give you some coins, some crypto if you watch a video. Oh, we're going to show you a video about, say New or one of the other many different cryptocurrencies that are available. And you might score yourself $3 in cryptocurrency, just to help boost that. But you're watching a video and, they're getting a little kickback from the company.
Of course they are.
And not just there. I mean, just about in any of the exchanges, you look, you go, what the heck is this coin?
Yeah.
What is this one?
They're all fly-by-night companies looking to try to make a quick buck.
And they're mining the cryptocurrency, right? So they're doing it themselves, or how does that work?
I mean, everybody's got to be able to mine their own coins and stuff to be able to do the transactions on the crypto or on the blockchain. But a lot of time these companies they come out and they say, well, we've got this wonderful thing that's going to cure cancer and everybody should buy our coins, and everybody does, and then there's no regulation behind it, so this company just disappears and everybody's just left holding a bag of coins that are completely worthless. Yeah,
you've seen the value. You might have seen the value popping up, and then suddenly it's down.
Just boom. And a lot of times it's overnight, because they bank on certain geographical areas to pump their coins. Let's say, for instance, America. Right. And then when 95% of America is sleeping, that's when they go to, let's say, the Chinese market and say, nope, we're leaving, bye. And then boom, the price drops overnight. So you wake up, boom, your coins are worthless.
Have you ever done that? You've gone to bed and it's riding high and you're looking, look at this. It's at 61,000. And then you wake up the next morning, it's at 54.
Yep. Well, I did that a couple of weeks ago. This was about a month ago. I was looking at Bitcoin and I was really watching Bitcoin, who's the king of all coins, really.
Yeah.
And I could just tell. I was like, I think there's something going to happen. I even told Misa, I think there's something going to happen. I said, I think it's going to drop.
Okay.
And I told Misa, it's like, I'm thinking I might just cash out all of our Bitcoin right now and let this go down, and then I'll rebuy it on a discount.
Right.
She's like, no, don't do that. We've spent so much money. We got so much invested. I'm like, all right, fine.
Hodl.
I woke up.
Gotta hodl.
I woke up and it had crashed. And I was like, gosh, if I would have sold when I wanted to, I could have rebought that at like a 25% discount.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're doing it high, but you sell it high and you buy it low.
Yeah, you've got to set your stop losses. If you're going to be a person that's going to trade, you got to learn what the meaning of a stop loss is.
Yeah.
And you got to learn how to be able to set those before you go to bed. Because once you're sleeping, you don't want to be sleeping thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to lose money? Am I going to lose money? No, you set your stop loss. And if the price gets to that point where you feel comfortable selling, it'll automatically sell for you.
You got to be really careful about some of the stuff you read that you see online. You may see stories on news feeds, Twitter, on other sites that will say, oh, we're predicting, big, massive gains. You might go to another website and you say, we're predicting major losses. I saw one this past week that said, it's going to eventually get to 300,000. But there's but when the bubble burst, that's what you'll hear. It's going to be like a long, hard winter where it's going to be that way for a long way. And we've seen that. We've ridden this out. We've been doing this for quite some time. You write it out and you just, you either hodl or you get, or you get rid of it and say goodbye.
Well, that's what we did. I was buying it when I first got into buying Bitcoin. It was right at the height in the 2017, huge market where everybody was buying. It was like 19,000 for a Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. I was buying it, and then it crashed and went all the way down to like 2,500, maybe even 3,000.
I remember that.
I was still buying. still buying every month, buying. Now it's at $60,000, and I'm sitting pretty because I believed in the technology.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. The thing about the blockchain, which has got a lot of people confused. Now, I'm trying to see if we can get this guy on the show, and I don't think it's going to happen today, but certainly something in the future if we can get him on. There is a guy named Daniel Roberts out there, and Daniel is the chief editor for Decrypt. Now, I'm going to tell our listeners about this, and I was thinking about keeping it as a website of the week, but seriously, so Decrypt is decrypt.co. All right, so you can go there. You can follow Daniel on Twitter, but we're learning a lot now. The technology behind the Bitcoin is the blockchain, and the cryptocurrency is the blockchain. Well, now we're hearing about this thing called NFTs, and the thing is to be cool. A lot of the technology and a lot of the entertainment sites are using it like we're supposed to know what it all means. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I got an NFT in this art project, and I have no clue what NFTs really, really are. I know it has something to do with the blockchain, and it's a way that artists are selling their artwork now and making some good money. But you still have I have a couple of tangible things. Could I then go ahead and create an NFT out of it? And
pretty much.
But that means I'm selling it, right?
Well,
I mean, pretty much.
That's what I don't get. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've heard some crazy stories. Like, there was a guy that literally sold the Brooklyn Bridge as an NFT. The guy never owned the Brooklyn Bridge in the first place.
Yeah, can you do it if you don't own it? That's
somehow he was able to sell an NFT of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, man.
I don't know exactly how that works, but like, I think of it as there's another coin that's been out there for a while now that I'm heavily invested in it, but they kind of have the same idea, but it's not necessarily NFT. Now, NFT stands for non-fungible token, which is the weirdest name ever.
Yeah.
Non-fungible token. But there's a company that has their own coin called VeChain.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, VeChain is, so basically what their whole idea is to use the blockchain to verify ownership and authenticity of products, because that's what an NFT really is. An NFT is just there's no way that somebody can tell you that you don't own an NFT because it's in the public blockchain. It shows your Bitcoin address or NFT address or whatever it is that it registers with, but it shows that you own this thing, whatever that thing may be. But what VeChain was designed to, say, for instance, Louis Vuitton bags, right? That's a great example. Louis Vuitton bags. There's a huge knockoff market for Louis Vuitton, right? You can go to pretty much anywhere in East Asia or whatever and buy these knockoff Louis Vuitton bags that look pretty darn similar to a real bag, but they're not. That's where VeChain steps in. VeChain will utilize what do they call them? What's the little thing on your phone that you can like touch to pay? I want to say NFT, but that's not. It is NFC.
NFC, yeah.
Yeah.
So just say NFC.
Yeah, NFC. They use NFC tags in their products. And so the NFC tag then has a blockchain address that can trace a product from the point of manufacturer to the point of distribution, to the point of sale, to the point of resale. So you always know that you're getting an authentic product. That's kind of what I imagine NFTs are. Like, nobody can tell you that you don't own an NFT. It's just, what are you buying with it? Like, a lot of artists are selling their artwork as NFTs.
Yeah.
But are they actually delivering the artwork to the client? Or are they just saying, you technically own this, but I'm going to keep it up in this museum here, or I'm going to keep it in my own possession, but you own it? Like, I don't get it. I don't get that.
We're going to have to try and see if we can get Daniel or somebody on from Decrypt to talk about it. But in the meantime, definitely take a look at their website, decrypt.co. In the meantime, we got to take a quick break. We'll come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. There's a lot going on. We actually have a couple of email questions that were sent in to us that we could possibly answer. And if you're thinking about getting yourself a brand new laptop, or you're thinking about taking the plunge and building a computer, we're going to hopefully have a couple of solutions for you. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemme. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, I'm John St. John, the voice of Duke Nukem and Big the Cat and a whole bunch of other crazy characters from video games, and you're listening to Tech Talk Radio. I know I do.
Welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. I'm Justin Lemme.
And I'm Andy Taylor. So Mary sent us a note. Says, hey guys, I love your show. I don't understand half the stuff, but now I'm in need of your help. She said, I am struggling to fund a laptop. I think she means find a laptop. Funding is also fun. It's system overload looking online. I'm enrolled to go back to school for my bachelor's in accounting, which is very cool. Any suggestions you could have for me? I'm thinking, wow. So it is, when you're looking for a laptop, it can be really confusing. Because think about it. How many different types are on the market now?
Too many to count. It depends on what you want to use it for. Like, are you trying to use it for just like schoolwork and like email and web browsing?
Right.
Or are you going to be using it to like create, for accounting, you really don't need this, but like if it's like programming or doing Visio documents or things like that, then there's a different use. But like if it's simply just for the basic stuff, get a Chromebook.
Oh, I don't know about it. See, I'd love to recommend that. But see, I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, you think, okay, if you get a Chromebook, you got to use the Chrome OS, right?
You sure? Yeah.
All right. And that's going to be some adjusting. And then you might have some accounting programs that are not going to be able to work under that environment. Maybe if they're not cloud-based.
Oh, yeah.
You could run into that.
Yeah.
So you run into that, and again, you go into the stores, you see a laptop that's $249. What is going to be the downside to that laptop? Then you see another one that's $500. What's going to be the upside versus that one that's $250? And it can get really confusing. And I think any good salesperson, and we've mentioned this before, when you go in and you talk to a salesperson, you say the same thing that you told us, Mary, you're listening, is, they should say, what are you going to be doing with it?
Yeah. Got to be a little bit more information. But if you're looking for like a good middle of the line, I'd say something like an Asus. Mm-hmm. I love Asus.
Asus and the Lenovo's have certainly come along pretty good.
If you're looking for the big guns, I'd say a Surface, a Microsoft Surface you can't go wrong with a Microsoft Surface.
Now, some people are saying that the Surface is actually doing a little better than the Macs because of its ability to do so many different things. With the Surface. Yeah, we've seen the ads.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've seen the new ads with Justin, what is his name?
Justin Long, yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we're not going to go off too much of a tangent, but Justin Long is an actor. He was really famous for Dodgeball. He was in Dodgeball. But he used to be in those commercials where it's, hi, I'm a Mac and I'm a PC. And he was the Mac.
Yeah, he was the Mac guy.
And it was Apple's commercials.
Yeah, and he was talking about, why you don't want to get yourself a PC with Windows because at the time, if you remember, it was Vista.
Yeah.
So I kind of agreed with him on that one.
Yeah, no, but now he's back doing these commercials for Intel and basically saying, "Oh, that's a Mac, like it can." So you're telling me this PC can hook up 4 monitors and this Mac can hook up 1? like okay,
natively,
I think I'm gonna go with the PC. You know, but no, I get it. But so the Macs, they're not doing so hot lately.
Yeah,
the Apple's kind of been going down a little bit.
Well, and I'd be honest with you, I have one Mac, and it, I don't use it. It would be great if I had a Mac because I think I might use it a little more. I consulted with somebody not too long ago that was starting a podcast, and I got to his office and it was a Mac, and I remember thinking, oh, this is gonna be fun. But honestly, within 20 minutes, I was able to navigate around it and get the program loaded he needed and get him all set up on it. So it wasn't that difficult. But one thing that you might do if you're ever in the situation where, Mary, you have somebody saying, you need to get this, you're going to have to get yourself, a laptop because you're going to bring it to class, you're going to load things on it. Ask the course instructor what are the minimum requirements or what is the optimum requirements for what you're going to be using it for.
Well, like you said, Andy, also ask, is there going to be any type of native software that I have to install? And especially if there is this going to be CD based or is it going to be download based? Because not a lot of laptops come with DVD or CD drives anymore.
No, they don't. And if it requires it, you're going to have to spend an extra $35 to get yourself an external USB drive. If you go low end on, a laptop, you're going to find you might only get 2 USB ports. So you might have one using a receiver for your mouse and keyboard, and that leaves going to leave you with one free. And if you've got an external drive hooked up to it, suddenly then you're going to have to get yourself a USB hub. So you're spending more money that way. So think about that. I honestly say a good price range for a laptop, in my eyes, is $699 to about $899. And if you're not using it for gaming or
that's about right.
A lot of video editing or photo manipulation, that's what you're going to be looking at. Now, if you're going with a Surface, you're going to be spending a little more money than that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, a Surface, I think a Surface starts at $899, goes all the way up to like $2,700, but that's for like the top end Surface. And again, you're not going to be doing top end stuff, so you probably don't need it. But I love the Surface. I love the fact that it can be a tablet, it can be a laptop, it can do all those things, and even the Surface Book. Mm-hmm. The Surface Book is a little different. It's more like a traditional laptop, but it's made by Microsoft, and you got all the support of Microsoft behind you, with all the applications, Windows, all that stuff.
Now, the next question would be, where do you buy said laptop? We know of the big box stores. Mom and pops, there are some mom and pops that will carry laptops, brands, but you are going to get a big selection if you're going into, say, an Office Depot, a Best Buy, a Walmart. You're generally going to find they're not going to be the upper end. It's not a knock on Walmart, but you're not going to find the highest end systems if you really want to, spend a few dollars to get the most bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And that's where you look at, again, the Best Buy, et cetera. Now, the other thing you can do is if you have a Sam's Club or a Costco membership, take a look at what they offer.
Oh, they have some of the best offers.
They really have some great deals on there. Now, I got a tremendous deal on my laptop that I bought, the Lenovo, and I had not bought another brand other than Asus. Matter of fact, I brought my daughter an Asus. My wife has an Asus. I've got an Asus. That's what I had. But when it came time, I got such a great deal on it because I went into the store and the guy told me, he says, well, I can give you an off ad deal. So it's a deal it's not advertised, but I can give this deal for you till tonight. This is how much it's going to be. And the regular price was $8.99. I got it for $5.99.
Oh my gosh.
But I had to buy it that day.
Yeah,
that was it. And I did.
Okay.
And
sure. I mean, it's a great deal.
I'm super happy with it.
But another thing about going back to Costco, and even I'm sure that Sam's Club probably does the same type of deal as this, but with Costco, I know for a fact, you buy a product there, like an electronic product, you get the Costco concierge service, which gives you extra warranty on top of the manufacturer's warranty. And also, you can even call the concierge service and get technical support for certain things. Yeah. So that way you don't have to go through calling the manufacturer's technical support. So that's another really cool feature about Costco.
I bought some technology at Costco that way, and I was pretty happy with it. And, do your research. Seriously, write down the prices, write down the specs. Mm-hmm. Realizing that i3, i5, i7, they all have something when it comes to, what it's going to be. Also, look at your storage. How much storage do you get? Do you get, say, 64 gigabytes? That's it. Go if you can go with 1 terabyte. If you go with SSD, you're in a better position. Look at your screen. Do you really need to have a 17-inch screen on your laptop or a 16-inch screen?
I mean, that really goes again. That goes to
what programs?
What are you going to be using on it, and also, how's your eyesight? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're an older person, your eyesight's probably not going to be as good as a younger person. So, yeah, having a larger screen is going to give you a better opportunity to be able to see what's on said screen.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you just write down all those facts. And if you have any questions on it, you can go ahead and drop us a line if we can answer it in time. If you're in the store waiting, I don't know what you're going to do, but if we can answer it in time and get back to you, we can help maybe recommend a brand Again, we're both fans of Asus and Lenovo, not to knock HP, but I just like that they don't put a lot of bloatware, and they're good performers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that might be a way to go. So think about that. Also, one of the comments that I didn't share with you is they needed a 10 key. So I said something you got to look at as well.
Oh, 10 key.
Yeah.
Well,
most laptops will have them, but
no, not necessarily. Not smaller laptops. They're not going to have 10 key.
No.
But the thing is you can buy a USB 10 key for like $15.
Yeah.
That you can just plug in whenever you need the 10 key. It just will sit next to your laptop and it's connected via USB, and bam, bam, do your 10 key.
It's not that bad in that respect. We got another one in from Dave. Actually, Dave said pretty much the same thing, that he listens to the show, and he's heard us talking about computers, and he's thinking about biting the bullet and buying and building his own PC. He doesn't want to buy one like a rack one. He wants to build it himself. He wants more control over it. He wanted to know if it was going to be cheaper, and because I don't have the email in front of me, but I'm remembering what he wrote. Is it easy to do? It depends. I mean, if you're like Mr. Bean when it comes to electronics, you might double think that one.
Yeah.
But it's actually not that bad. I mean, what are the things you're going to need? You're going to need a case. Mm-hmm. You're going to need a power supply.
Yeah.
You're going to need your motherboard.
Yeah.
You're going to need a compatible processor with that motherboard. Mm-hmm. You're going to need a fan. You're going to need
a couple fans.
In most, depending on the size of the processor you get. If you're not going to use onboard video or onboard audio, you want to get a video card, an audio card. Most likely, the motherboard will come with what we call an Ethernet card, so you can
NIC.
Do
an
that.
Onboard NIC.
Yeah, an onboard NIC, or who knows? Maybe it even comes with Wi-Fi as a part of it. So again, those are the things you want to think about. Then your keyboard, your mouse, your monitor. What are you going to do? If you have an old monitor and you're thinking you could connect it, is the connection going to be the right one? And do you have an HDMI out of what you're going to be building on that motherboard? So a lot of things you want to consider. Now, you've recommended a website in the past that can actually help people in piecing together and building their own computer.
Oh, yeah, PCPartPicker.com. It's a great website. The guy originally started it as kind of like a hobby because he got to the point where, he'd be building a PC and just, things weren't compatible to each other, and he would order things and end up not being compatible and then having to return them. So he got fed up with it, and he just started trying to find the best prices across the entire internet and created a website that would automatically remove incompatible items from your search. So if after you pick like a motherboard, it would remove all the incompatible memory and processors. So that way you couldn't accidentally buy something that is not compatible. Well, it got to be so popular that he's now turned it into like a full-time job. Last I remember, this is a couple years ago, but the site is great. And the site also will send you like alerts. Like if you're watching a particular product and you're like, it's a little too much right now, you can send an alert and it will email you when that price goes down to the alert, whatever price you set.
Right.
But it's a great website. And even if you don't even know the first thing about building a computer, you can go to PCPartPicker.com and there are people that have done completed builds. So all you have to do is go to the completed build section, type in how much you want to spend, like what's your max budget, and it will show you build after build after build of what people have done with pictures.
Right.
And you're like, ooh, I like that one. I like that one. So then you click on it, and then it will show you all the pieces that go along with it. And one link, one click, you can basically go actually I shouldn't say one click. Like sometimes the best prices are on Amazon. Sometimes they're on Newegg. Sometimes they're on Tiger Direct, other things. But sometimes you can find them where you just one click, it'll take you to one website, add all the pieces to your cart, and then boom, you check out, boom, you're done.
Very
and then
cool.
you just wait for it to come.
PCPartPicker.com. We're going to take another break. We'll be back with more of Tech Talk Radio. Now, coming up next week, when this show airs the following week, something big, something you should think about. We're going to talk about that coming up with Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemme. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tech Talkers. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemme.
So this coming on the 31st, this coming week, it is World Backup Day. And so it's a good day to think about having a backup of your data. Has it ever happened to you where you've gone to access something and you hear the click, 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 or
It
suddenly
happened to me not too long ago.
Did it really? How much
Yeah.
data did you lose?
A terabyte.
That's a lot of data.
Yeah,
That wasn't good.
it was my my Plex media, my
So
Plex drive.
all your Plex stuff?
Yep, all my movies and videos and things like that. Yeah, totally went bye-bye. But thankfully, I did have a backup on the you got me that Acronis
Right,
True Image.
right.
So I was able to pull a bunch of the data off of that, replace it with another drive. But interestingly enough, that drive was a 2 terabyte drive, and just earlier this last week, I had a problem with that drive. I kept getting notifications from Windows saying, Drive E's got a bad sector. And I'm like, okay.
Ooh.
But Plex kept trying to start, and it would stop, start and stop, start and stop. And I'd keep getting an alert saying Plex service is starting, Plex service is stopped. And then my computer would just randomly shut down, even though
That's never good. That's never good.
So it scared me, man. It scared me. But I went through, I checked the disk, I repaired the disk, and I powered the system off. I even unplugged the power supply to make sure that it was fully powered off.
Right.
And since then, knock on wood, but it's been okay.
Are you beginning to think, though, it's going to be time to make a full backup to a new drive?
Well, yeah, but I don't have any new drives. Like even this 2 terabyte that I had was a hand-me-down. It was never used, but it was old. It's a spinny drive, It's not an SSD.
Yeah.
But it was an old drive. It's probably 6-7 years old.
Well, okay, so with World Backup Day, many people have never, ever done a backup of their computer. They may have lost drives in the past, and then that's it. It's out to the wind. Whatever you had on there is gone.
Yep.
And World Backup Day is really stressing the importance of making a backup of your computer, in some cases, a backup of your backup. The redundancy doesn't hurt. If somebody has never done backup before, and say they've got maybe a 500 gigabyte drive in their system, do they go out and they buy themselves a 200 gigabyte, portable drive to back up their system?
You kind of want more than 200 gigabyte. I mean, nowadays, most systems are, 500 gigabytes to a terabyte, yeah.
So if you've got a 500 gigabyte, you're going to want to get at least, I would say larger than that, 750 or 1 terabyte. You can find 1 terabyte. It's really inexpensive now.
It depends. I mean, if you want to make a full backup of your system, like a complete full backup that you can just restore it to a drive and bam, you're back off to the races, then yeah, you're going to want to get something bigger than what you currently have in your system. However, if you're just looking to back up some files, some important documents and pictures and things like that, then no, you don't necessarily need a drive as big as your computer or bigger. You just need a drive that'll hold what you want to back up.
Now, do you have a preference on drives? I mean, there are drives in the market that are made for being portable, like a portable drive. I've got a couple of those, and I love them. I've got one SSD drive that's portable. All of these are from Western Digital, and again, I love those. And then I have a couple of big drives that sit on my desktop, so I can back those up. The problem is, a lot of people are not sure how to do it, and they're afraid of actually starting a backup. There used to be, when you would buy a drive, say from WD or any of the other manufacturers, you would actually get a backup program that you could use that would help you in the backups. I don't know if we're seeing that as much anymore. So is it gonna serve them to go out and buy a Acronis or get another backup solution to go ahead and start running those backups? Windows has one, but a lot of people say it's very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, well, to answer your question, the drive that I like, my choice is Seagate. I like the Seagate. I have a 6 terabyte USB 3 powered removable, not removable, but it's external hard drive. So it's 6 terabytes. All it does is hold my backup. And yeah, I use Acronis. You got me the Acronis,
right?
2020 or 2021.
I got you
was
True Image 2021.
Yeah,
that's what we use.
So it's great because, as the title says, it's True Image. It literally takes an image of each one of my drives. So my operating system drive, which is the C drive, it takes an image of my D drive, which is just some games and some pictures. It takes a drive image of my E drive, which is all of my movies and documents and things, and then even my gaming drive, which is just a 1 terabyte thing with all my games. Now, that's not so important. I actually stopped backing that up because I don't mind reinstalling my games if I have to. It's not a big deal. Like, I got gigabit internet. I can download my games super quick. I don't care about that.
Right.
But with Acronis, it's super simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you start it up, you tell it, I want to back this, and this up, and I want to back it up to here. And I want to run it on a weekly basis. Boom, done. That's it. That's all you have to do.
And in some cases, depending on how you set up that backup, and again, it's pretty easy. Step-by-step wizard will help you. If you have that drive connected and it's on your desktop, you can tell it, just back up any of the, so you do a full backup, and then it will do an incremental after that.
Exactly. That's a big thing. The incremental. It only backs up the stuff that's changed since the last backup. So your first backup will take hours, if not a full day. But after that, it's only the stuff that has changed. So like if you go and you alter like a Word document, in Acronis, what it does is it sets a flag on that. And when I say flag, it's not a flag that you can see, but it's a flag on the file that says to Acronis, hey, this file has changed. So that way when Acronis goes, and I'm not just saying Acronis, all the other backup ones does it too, but I'm just saying Acronis because I use Acronis, but it will say, you need to back this up because it's changed.
And it's pretty easy to do. Again, it's just a matter of having the time to do it. Another option to look into as well is backing up to the cloud. And what that means is you take your backup, and rather than backing up to physical media, you're backing it up to a cloud-based system where it's stored there in the cloud. So in case you ever run into a catastrophic failure, you can download your backup using a very couple of easy steps once you get your system back up to download and get that image back onto your computer, which makes it pretty good.
Well, the only downside to having a cloud backup, though, is it does rely on your internet connection.
Yes.
So if you're in an area that you don't have a great internet connection, or even worse, a metered internet connection where you basically get a data cap, that's not the greatest thing for you because you're going to either be uploading or downloading your backups extremely slow if you don't have great internet, or let's say you have a failure and you've got to get your data off the cloud, but you only get, I don't know, let's say 500 gigabytes a month. You might just use up your entire month's internet allowance just getting your backup off the cloud.
Yeah.
So having a local backup is great. Now, I know I want to take it one step further. If you're backing things up and you are really serious about what you're backing up, don't keep your backup drive in the same location as your main computer.
Exactly.
I mean, if you have a fire, God forbid, your backup's not going to do you any good.
No, because
take your backup and put it in, like, I don't know, your office, or a safety deposit box.
Yeah, I was going to say, some people have said they've taken their little, portable drives with the backups of, family photos, a whole bit, and they have a safe deposit box. They'll put it in there.
Yeah.
So,
but don't keep your backup in the same house.
In some cases, too, depending on the data, you may want to do a backup of the backup. That does not hurt. Again, the cost per terabyte is really inexpensive right now, so it doesn't hurt to have that backup in two different locations. So then, again, in case anything ever happens, you should be okay. And again, you could go online, you could do a search for some of the backup programs. I definitely recommend taking a look at Acronis, Acronis. Now, what about your mobile devices? We don't want to leave them out. So
sure, I guess.
SanDisk makes what's called an iExpand drive, and you can plug that in to your Android device. You could plug it into your iPhone, and you could, using the program, do a backup that way of your smartphone. That's really, honestly, a really good, easy way to make sure you have your backup. So you got your desktop, you got your laptops, and you got your mobile devices, so you can have those backed up as well.
The Android, it backs up automatically to the Google Cloud.
Right.
So, and I know iPhone will back up, to iCloud. So these mobile backups, I'm not exactly sure what benefit they provide over Google Cloud or the Apple iCloud, because like I just got, a new Google phone recently, and I just simply logged into my Google account and it says, hey, we found a backup from your old Pixel 3. Do you want to restore it? I'm like, sure. And within like an hour and a half, all my stuff was back.
That's cool.
Yeah. So speaking of mobile too, this is interesting. This last Monday, there was a major problem with Android. Something just happened. And I noticed this because all of a sudden my Outlook just stopped working. Like, I would launch up Outlook and it would just close itself down immediately. And I thought, okay, maybe I got some sort of an email that it's trying to preview that, maybe it can't do it, so it errors out. Well, started looking into it. According to Engadget, a number of Android users suddenly saw notifications pop up on their devices saying that apps had stopped running. Things like Gmail, banking apps, Google Pay, and a bunch of others. So they said that basically, if you're having the problem, something that's worked for a lot of people was to go into the Google Play Store on your device, uninstall the latest update to a system app called Android System Web View. It's the app that provides Chrome-like browser rendering within apps, and according to developers and end users, many of the errors where the problems resides there. But according to Google later on that night, it did mention that it has confirmed that the issue was with the latest update to the Web View app.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't mention Outlook during that time, so I uninstalled Outlook, I reinstalled Outlook, and I added my email accounts one by one.
Right.
And it seems to have not had an issue anymore, but there was a pretty big issue. Like, all of a sudden, just thousands and thousands of people are saying, hey, Android, and we haven't heard a lot about problems with Android. And so this is kind of interesting that all of a sudden.
Well, now, was this something you went to Down Detector to take a look to see if there was an outage reported?
I actually didn't go to Down Detector. I thought it was just something on my machine, but then I started seeing in reports, and that's when I found that article from Engadget saying, hey, there's a big problem going on, and it's affecting a lot of Android users. I'm like, whoa, maybe I wasn't the only one. I seriously thought it was just me.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to go ahead and just make our website of the week, decrypt.co.
Oh, yeah.
But we will take a break. We come back, actually. You've been playing around with virtual reality, augmented reality. We want to get your thoughts on that when we come back with Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemme. Find us on Twitter. Send us a tweet at Tech Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. I'm Justin Lemme.
I'm Andy Taylor. Okay, so I have not got myself the virtual reality goggles or anything. I've been looking at them. I keep thinking I want to get them. A little pricey, but you have had the chance to experience it, but you're not too excited about what's been going on with Flight Simulator.
Well, I love the Oculus Quest 2 because I like it because it's standalone. I can just sit on the couch and play virtual poker or other games without having to connect it to the PC. But one of the big selling features was I can connect it to the PC and play virtual Microsoft Flight Simulator, where I can be sitting in the cockpit and playing it. And I bought the Link cable, and I could never get it to work right. I mean, my computer, I know I just upgraded it, but honestly, I didn't upgrade it that much. I mean, I went from a i7 6700 series to an i7 8700 series, which is still not that great, but I could never get it working right. And so I kind of gave up on it, but other people were saying, yeah, it's working great. And then all of a sudden, an update came out.
Oh, that's it.
To NVIDIA, and an update came out to the Oculus, and an update came out to the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and all three of them foobarred everything.
Wow.
People are saying, you know what, virtual reality in Flight Simulator is unplayable at this time. So I've pretty much given up on virtual reality, but it also kind of left a sour taste in my mouth with Flight Simulator. I know it's a great game. I just can't bring myself back to it. Once I experienced what it was like in virtual reality, I don't want to go back to playing it on a monitor anymore.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, because you've been spoiled.
Yeah,
and now
pretty
I'll tell you what, you have a lot to choose from now. If you haven't heard, the Game Pass from Microsoft is now offering the Electronic Arts Library. At least a good number of them. 60 brand new games have been added from EA. And I mean, we're talking some of the best action games that have been out there. You can now play with the Game Pass, which runs you a low monthly fee. So you're not going out and paying $70, $80 for each game. You get a chance to play them.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool.
I got the Game Pass.
Have you tried any of them yet? I haven't.
Not the EA. Well, I bought Madden 21, but I haven't tried any other EA games. But I do try some of the Game Pass games.
I've got a little couple days off, so I'm planning to get some gaming in. All right, that's it for this week's Tech Talk Radio. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemme. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you next time.